What is up, bros? It is another new season, so it's time to run around custom games for hours on the test server so I can show you the most important changes that you absolutely need to know about. Like how now when you reload with the default Finka uniform, there's some red added to her uniform. And for the first time ever in Rainbow Six Siege history, you can get a double kill on yourself. You know, just the things that you absolutely need to know about, and I was actually pretty surprised with how many random hidden changes that weren't announced happened this season. Unfortunately, a lot of them were parkour blocks. But anyways, all of this is subject to change. It is just the test server, but in the past, we have seen most random things like this make it into the live build, so let's get into it. Alright, so up first, we got our first parkour spot that got put in the dirt with this update. You used to be able to look over here and then sprint towards the front hood of the white van and get a vault prompt. From there, obviously you could get all the way up top. There's even an OSA trick where you could go prone and then get yourself on top. You could literally run all over the place, like if you watched the last hide and seek video that we did, or you could run and sprint into penthouse. As of right now on the test server, when you come over here to get a vault prompt, it just doesn't happen. You don't get one. Another surface that got its vault prompt taken away is this counter in kitchen. You used to be able to stand on one counter and then run at an angle, look sideways and get a vault prompt, and then you could do like a really cool swan peek out of the top of the window. But similar to the last one, when you run at it now, there's just no vault prompt, so they must have made it anti-vault. One quality of life change that I actually really like is now when you vault through doors, you can do actions sooner after vaulting through them. For example, look at this comparison of getting the sprint option. Like, as soon as you vault through, you can pretty much immediately start sprinting. It also kind of looks like you could throw drones and knife faster after vaulting through. It's a little bit harder to tell. The sprint, you can really feel it though. Like even just playing the game, you'll feel it immediately. Now, before the next hidden change that I don't even think Ubisoft knows about, I'm going to tell you about the sponsor of this video, War Thunder, the most epic military action game that features land, sea, and air vehicles. Whether you're a fan of military vehicles, technologies, or insane graphics, War Thunder does it all. Each machine is distinct in battle that has unique features such as guided missiles, protection systems, smokes, night vision, and so much more. The amount of details is actually insane. Like if you hit a plane's fuel tank, it's gonna ignite. All vehicles can be upgraded and improved with modules, and I love the huge amount of visual customization options too, just like my Siege skins. The new Seek and Destroy update features aviation from Benelux like the famous Dutch aircraft Fokker GIA, new missiles with active radar homing, and 2 new maps, Mysterious Valley and Bering Sea. Don't miss out on War Thunder. It is free to play on PC, PlayStation, Xbox, and Mac. Use my link down below to get a limited time bonus for new players and those who haven't played for 6 months or more. You're gonna get the P-40E1 aircraft and M4 tank for a week, a special decorator Eagle of Valor, 100,000 Silver Lions, 3 premium vehicles for free, a week of premium account, and more. So don't miss out. The American vehicle bonus season is gonna end soon. Another potentially really cool quality of life change is the option to turn motion blur off. Now, this mainly affects just when you get shot. Now, the reason I say potentially is that it also kind of came with another hidden change if you choose to turn motion blur off. When you turn motion blur off, it seems to almost enhance the amount of like red blood that gets put around the perimeter of your screen, and it makes the screen like almost darker, like hard to see. So while your screen won't be shaking while getting shot, that additional blood is going to be around your screen. I'm not 100% sure if Ubisoft is going to tweak this. I assume that they will, and I'm not the only creator that's noticed this. I saw King George and Varsity talking about it briefly too. So I feel like this probably isn't in its final state. I think there's a lot of potential for this to be a really good change though, because as long as like the dark blood around your screen doesn't totally mess up your vision, this is going to be a great change. Two of the most random changes here in this video is we got new menu animations for both Bandit and Twitch. Bandit looks like he almost nearly electrocutes himself, and then Twitch kind of just tosses her drone like she's mad at it. And it seems like each season there are a couple new animations added, so I assume that they're just adding a couple each season. I don't know. We'll see who we get next season. On the current live build, there are no textures when you shoot an Argus launcher cam, regardless of the surface, whether it's a door, a floor, a soft wall, or a hard surface. But now when you go on the test server, you're gonna see it's still the same for like windows and hard surfaces, but when you shoot Argus launcher cams on top of soft surfaces, whether it's a floor or a wall, you now get a new texture around it. It's like each one has an impact hole. Again, super random. Nice little detail, I guess, though. A couple more patches here for us, but that's okay because after a couple of these, I'm going to show you something that finally got unpatched after a few years. We're going to see we are no longer able to vault up on top of the planters on the roof corners of Cafe. You used to be able to vault up on top of these and then have like a parkour line that you could look through the skylight and hit the freezer rotate. Or you could also like grief teammates and drop the diffuser on the little balcony, which was a total pain in the butt. It's a little bit of a double-edged sword with this one. Ubisoft definitely liked to take away some vault prompts with this update. Now, this next one I was a little bit salty about. It's that how they took away the little pixel above the wall on the top of red stairs. This used to be a cool little secret pixel that like veteran players would always know about. And it's just things like this. When you learn little tricks like this in Siege, that's what makes it really addicting. So this does kind of suck to see go, but I don't know. Maybe it was accidental. Maybe it'll show back up in the live build. At least fingers crossed. Up next is the new way that you can place side-by-side double shields inside of big doors to get some crazy angles. It has to do with the new operator Scopos. Basically, they have to be standing inside of a doorway. They're going to place their shield first, and then as they start placing their shield, you are going to walk forward with your deployable cover and then place yours. If you're standing next to each other, you're not going to have the option to deploy your cover. You can do this in any of the big doorways. I especially like this one here looking through Cigar, and because of the angles that the Scopos idle shield lays, you can get some crazy angles whether you're prone or crouched, and it's just really hard to see. Now, it's literally been a couple years since the last time we were able to do this, so if you go and do this in a game, this is not something that the majority of Siege players are going to be expecting. These are just some like rapid changes or things that you should know about with Scopos, things that are new to Siege that we haven't seen before. Basically, Scopos has her very own special footprints. They look like little dinosaur teeth, kind of. Obviously, you can see these with Jackal, and the other thing that you should know about is that if you scan one robot with Jackal scan, that robot can actually switch to their other robot, and you are not going to be tracking that one. You're still going to be tracking the idle one, so they literally act as like two separate operators. So that's just like a good detail to know about if you're playing Jackal. Now, for the first time ever in Rainbow Six Siege, you can get a double kill on yourself. It's just one of those things. It's so dumb. I have to include it. This is brand new to Rainbow Six Siege. We're in uncharted territory now, boys. Random Scopos fact number 3. When you switch between shields, you're gonna see a reflection of the character in the wheelchair as you switch. It's really vague, but you can see it every single time. Got some new sound effects in Rainbow Six Siege that we've never had before. This one is when you run out of boosts with your drone. We got a brand new sound to Rainbow Six Siege. Very important announcement with this one. All right, you guys get ready. So the new Jaeger Elite, this is actually on the live build right now. All right, but this is just too important to not include. This is the first Rainbow Six Siege uniform ever to have a zipper that goes all the way from the front up the back of the butt. Way too much of an important detail to miss. So I'm throwing it in this video. And again, this is live. Don't worry, this isn't going to change. Now, this one here was in the patch notes, but it's getting so much backlash. I wanted to include it because I'm curious to see if it's going to change before the actual new season launches. So this is with Ash and Ram. The R4C got nerfed. They're dropping the magazine from 31 down to 25. They're also keeping the magazine numbers the same. She's now going to have 151 rounds instead of 181. Personally, don't think this is the best way to nerf her, and it doesn't seem like the community really likes this one either. So yeah, I'll be curious to see if it changes. We'll see what happens. We got a nice little UI change for when we select maps for Endless Drill. A little bit of a different look around here. Yeah, not much to say. Next. In the custom game options, you guys already know about this, but they did add the 1v1 options. But did you know that we are losing one of the arcade options? The preset for snipers only game mode is now taken away. A couple cool changes coming to the shooting range. The first one is that when you load in, you're now going to have an option to restart the tutorial. I guess they've probably just added so many cool options to the shooting range that now new players that haven't ever used it before, they can go through a shooting range tutorial, learn about each lane. Good little quality of life, especially when you're looking at like new player onboarding. The other changes coming to the shooting range, and one is announced, a couple of them are hidden. The announced change is that they are adding cover to the shooting range in Zone 3. The thing that they didn't announce is that you now have 2 extra options. You now have 10 options instead of originally 8 in the current live build. Specifically, we're getting the reposition timer on top of the use cover option. The reposition timer actually is going to change the targets around if you don't shoot them within the time you select. A very random change that isn't going to affect most players, but it affects me, is you can no longer prone midair. I assume this is because you can kind of mess with the animation when you're falling, but yeah, you literally can't like spam prone anymore. Before, you used to be able to like spam prone and change the animation or maybe hitbox of your character, and this kind of affected corner boosting in a way. A lot of you might not know what corner boosting is, but it's basically when you prone off of an edge and then you can get like a few inches further than normal. You kind of like launch yourself. If you are one of the few that this affects though, don't worry, there's some stuff cooking right now. All right, the change you've all been waiting for, the one that's going to change Rainbow Six Siege forever. Finka now has some red underneath her left forearm. You can see it when you reload, and it doesn't exist in the current build, but it's going to be hitting us with the new season. Yeah, I hope you're buckled up for that one. This one's one of the most random ones. Now, when you click on Osa and Maestro specifically in the test server, they have dots where you can select to customize their gadgets. I didn't see that on any of the other operators. Yeah, random. So, last menu UI change for this video here. Now, if you get a bunch of new items in your locker, you get like those little yellow dot notifications that you have new items that you haven't seen yet. With the new season coming out, you are now going to have a mark all as seen button towards the top right when you first go into your locker. You now no longer have to go and physically hover over each one with your cursor. Up next, we got a few changes with Easter eggs that Titanium Rolo found. This first one, if you go into the current build of Nighthaven Labs, above the lobby stairs, there's currently poker chips, but on the test server, there is a lamp. A lot of people think this is a brand new asset in Rainbow Six Siege. I can't think of another spot that there's a lamp like this. And Jeremy even tweeted this picture. He's one of the designers of a lot of maps in the game. I don't know, could it just be a meme? Or maybe there's meaning for something in the future, who knows? Another thing that the map designer Jeremy is really well known for is liking trains. And there seems to be a couple trains added to maps. Again, on Nighthaven, if you go over to the workshop area, there's now a train on the bottom shelf, whereas before there was not. Another place that a new train was added was from the ruin spawn on Coastline. If you look underneath of this outdoor couch, you can see that on the current build there's no train, but on the test server there is now a hidden train tucked in that back corner. I don't know, do you guys think this could be like a sneak peek to something in the future, or do you think it's just a meme at this point? This one cuts deep. This one's been enjoyed by many members of the Brah fam. Was iconic in hide and seeks, but the globe on Emerald Plains has been buried. It's 6 feet under. It's no longer there. I'm gonna have to hit up the spot busters to figure out how to get back up here. I won't be surprised if they figure out a way, but as of right now, this spot is cooked. Now this next one is if you go into archives on Border, they moved this very high shelf with a fan further away from the bomb. I think Gustus is solely responsible for this because he somehow actually figured out a way to get on top of the shelf. Interesting little detail. Shelf is a few feet extra away now. Wrapping it up for this video, we have two more things. This first one was something I got wrong in my new season video. Now, the way that they explained this potential Claymore change to me, it sounded like they were adding time to the delay with Claymores. What they actually did in the test server right now is they took that delay away. So basically, as soon as you hit the laser, you blow up. For example, you used to be able to Oryx charge through an Osa shield, through a Claymore facing you, and survive it because of the delay. On the test server right now, as soon as you Oryx dash an Osa shield and breaks, the millisecond that laser hits you, you blow up. So sprinting out of doors, turning around, and coming back to like fake explode it using the delay is very, very difficult now, and very risky. The second change that's coming is they took away the notification of when an attacker goes through a proximity alarm. With the new recruit, people were using C4 proximity alarm traps so that when they got notified, they would just detonate a pre-play C4. They could be literally across the map. That is no longer going to work. Anyways, you guys, I hope you enjoyed some of these hidden changes. Comment down below what your favorite one is and what your least favorite change is coming this season. I love you all. I'll see you all very soon in the next video. Peace.